Hey guys, are you ready for some fun tonight?
Woo! Hey kids, don't eat runs. They're expensive.
What ho, Mrs. Brisket?
Well, hello. How you doing?
Oh my god, Friday's the best day. Dark hair and glasses, sex and secret identity.
Okay, folks, I don't know where our host went. but
It
there-
says he's unmuted, but there's no sound, Ian.
Okay, folks, well, while Ian's trying to get that on, we have that very interesting pause there. Brett's, we're having fun with the mute game today. It says you can't unmute yourself. Okay, well, so I guess welcome to Bring Your Own Improv as Ian continues to work this out. And once he comes back in, I will toss off to him. And that is where we're at. So, folks, thank you so much for coming out this evening. There's the thing that tells me what I'm supposed to say.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes!
Can you hear me
Hey!
now? All right.
Please take this over. I don't want to do it tonight.
All right. Well, once again, welcome, and not just a face, but a voice as well. Thank you all for coming. Glad to see you late night with us. Glad you stayed up with us for a late Friday night. And we've got another one, Carrie, waiting in the waiting room. Let's let Joe in. Hey, glad you're all here. Those of you who joined us in the Zoom meeting, those of you who are watching us currently live on YouTube, and you YouTube people, like us, subscribe to us, do all those YouTube-y things that you love so well, which is why you're watching us on YouTube. Hey, do those YouTube things. We love you for it. So for those of you who are watching, who are in Zoom and can control things and not just watch what we show you, let me tell you about the speaker view. It's up there in the corner. Right now, you probably want to watch the show on speaker view. Most of you have been here and watched these shows before, you know that. It gives you the best view of the performers performing rather than the gallery view. So tell you about that. That's where that goes. And of course, the all-important chat feature. That would be down there to turn it on. And once it's up, you see it over there. And you can type stuff in and give us suggestions throughout the show. Hey, let's warm your fingers up and make sure that you're as warm as we are by just typing in right now, when you were a kid, we're in summer now, when you were a kid and you were on summer vacation at school, what was your favorite summer vacation activity other than just not going to school? Favorite thing to do during summer vacation? All right, so get you all warmed up with giving suggestions because we're going to ask for that throughout the show. Hey, a few things we always like to talk about. Exits. If you need an exit, you know where you live, you know what your place of residence looks like. Use it. We won't judge you for it. Do what you have to do and get out. You know how. And speaking of doing what you have to do, bathrooms. Again, you know where those are too. Again, if you need to use it, use it. Don't take us with you. We'll leave us right where we are. You can take care of that on your own, and we'll take care of this right here where we are now. All right. Hey, we're all here for you. I'm Ian. I'm hosting tonight. We've got Carrie, our wonderful door lady that you've been talking to, and I've got a great cast for you tonight. I've got Jared.
Hey, if you could read lips, the show would have started 30 seconds earlier.
You've got Amy.
You can read this. You're too close.
You've got Tim.
If you use the exits, the bathroom can also be outside.
We've got John.
Expecto Patronum.
We've got Brett.
Hi, I'm Brett, and I might shave my head tonight.
We've got Daniel. And
Down here.
we've got a very important one of you who we're about to find out who. That will be our FAM tonight. Our FAM is our featured audience member who will be interviewed by a couple of our cast members, and those answers will inspire us throughout the show. We won't make fun of you, we promise. We may make fun of people that you name during the interview, And Carrie, why don't you let us know who that's going to be tonight in our Fam Cup?
Bam.
Cool.
Thank you for giving time for me to stop laughing from Daniel's reaction to being on mute. So in our Fam Glasses case, I'm wondering if Dark Hair and Glasses moved to YouTube. Sorry, there were tech issues. But our Fam is Walker.
Walker.
Is Lori's son. Lori, I'm going to unmute you.
All right, Walker, you're on.
Say hi.
All right, Walker. So you've seen your mother do this. You're gonna get a couple of our folks are gonna ask you some questions and just give your honest answers, and we'll use them as you've seen Stu with your mother. So are you all set?
Hit me.
Okay, Jared, Amy, take it away.
All right. Well, we're going to start doing some interrogating right here. Walker, you know what? It's the summertime, so what better time to talk about school? What is your favorite school subject? And it's not just what's your favorite subject, but why is it your favorite subject?
Oh my. I'm gonna have to go with English because I just like reading overall, and I don't know. I've had trouble saying words in the past, so English is my favorite.
So do you have favorite books that you've liked?
What are you reading?
Fine. Do I have to say, no, what, like the one that I'm reading right now?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Star Wars Dark Force Rising.
That's the current book he's reading right now.
Yeah. It's a good book, though.
You read a lot of science fiction?
Yep.
Well, for those moments when, reading is too intellectual, that's when we watch movies. What is your favorite go-to movie?
All right. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. Can you give a very, very quick synopsis of that movie?
What's that mean?
Give him a review, like a quick,
Holy crap.
like what is it? What happens in that movie?
A new word.
Just battles in space.
Battles in space.
That's pretty much it.
The tidy summary right there.
Have you been watching TV, like getting caught up in some shows?
What
No.
What did you
That's
just
right. No.
Just watch.
What did we just watch? Agents of
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's actually a good show.
Ooh, Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Cool.
I've been
You
watching
have-
a lot of that lately.
Have you really?
I actually have. No spoiler alerts, but I'm on the one when they're out in space now. Do not tell me how that one ends.
Okay.
And if you haven't gotten to that one yet, I apologize for spoiling.
In either.
You've only seen the last episode.
I've watched it a lot.
He's only seen one episode.
Boy, do I apologize right now. They don't go out into space. Speaking of places you don't go, if you could go to like any country, anywhere in the world, what country would it be? And the follow-on question will be, why?
I probably want to go to Scotland because I'm Scottish. That's where my That's where some of my family has came from, and I don't know. Scotland just seems like a historical place.
Plus bagpipes, right?
And haggis.
Yeah.
So actually, oh yeah. So let me detour here. Quarantine, like your snack cabinet, because we've all been noshing. Okay. So what? There's going to be a snack shortage. What do you stock up on?
What are you eating a lot of?
There's not going to be an actual shortage, but
Yeah.
you go sweet, do you go salty, do you go?
Go ahead, say it.
Pizza.
Pizza. How do you top your pizza?
Just cheese.
Just cheese.
Sometimes meatballs.
I didn't connect it until just now, but Walker's favorite movie, Rise of Skywalker. Just
Made that connection,
throwing that out there, yeah.
huh?
Have you not been at our past shows when Lori's been fam?
I've asked everything. I know everything I ever need to know about Walker. I don't know about you, Amy.
Let's just hit it with one more. I know you said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Do you have any other shows or like movies other than the like science fiction or other than science fiction or like Marvel
What was
hero
last?
movies?
With Tyler.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Ooh, Jurassic Park. Awesome. That's great. Okay, I think that I'm covered now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Walker. As you know, we're going to go ahead and use these answers throughout the show, as I mentioned, and you've seen it work, so you know how it goes. We're going to kick it off with a game we call Fam Remake. And this, we're going to see a scene. Actually, we're going to see 3 different scenes. And before we let you go, Walker, is there anything out of that interview that you just feel like, oh, I just can't wait to see that? I need to see that right away.
Any of the topics that they were talking about?
Probably just Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Okay, we've seen that before. We'll see it again. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree there. All right. So thank you so much, Walker. And we'll start this with Jared and Amy, and we're just going to do a scene from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Darling, I am the most popular. I don't see how you could think that you'd get more attention than I do.
I mean, I'm a Jedi. I can move things with my mind, so that I got that going for me.
Ugh, a Jedi. I'm telling you, they're all here to see me. Every day, I just put on my little Yoda outfit. And they see me.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, the Yoda outfit's hot. If I could move one thing in my mind, it would be more of that Yoda outfit on you.
Judge me by my attractiveness, do you?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I do. You know, I'm one of those shallow Jedis.
Really, this method acting of yours is just a little outrageous, but okay.
Oh, I like when you pull the top of your ear mask on right there. That was that was pretty hot. I mean, vroom, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I just got them pierced too.
Oh, you sure did. Look at those Yoda ear piercings. Whoo, I don't want to fly Han Solo when you're around.
You say the sweetest things.
Oh, you know what, Hot Yoda? We should go to some like faraway jungle, swamp, asteroid planet and maybe see if we can pull some X-Wings out of the swamp, if you know what I mean.
And scene. All right. We should go to exotic places and pull things out of somewhere. All right. That's a good motto for all of us. But unfortunately, that movie didn't have traction. People are kind of getting Star Wars out, so they decided that we'd have to remake this in a slightly different style to attract an audience that was looking for something new. So Tim and John, we're going to bring you on, and we're going to see a remake of that basic scene, but in the style of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the kind of super espionage style.
Hot Yoda
how's
sighted
it going?
at 6 o'clock.
What'd you say?
Hot Yoda sighted at 6 o'clock.
Well, there might have been a hot Yoda, but I have a level 6 access to someone's heart here.
Well, I mean, I know Iron Man, but I could be your man.
Well, I think depending on how far this beam sword goes, we could definitely avenge that.
Oh, for sure, Mr. Fury.
So tell me about what you're wearing. It looks very nice.
It's a long cape with ears that I just got pierced, and I made them myself, and I pulled them over quite secretively.
Oh wow, we could
it's
really
great
get a
for-
bunch of shield insignia on those hoods there. That's nice.
I know. And it's great for when I'm spying around so nobody can see who I actually am.
That's right. It's so cool. It makes me want to see the invisible side of it.
Well, I know some places where we could see some invisible things, some like swamp planets. We could go pull some X-wings or shield copters out of swamps, and if you know what I mean.
Okay, cut. I think we're going to leave the kids behind on that one. So we need something that's a little more of a summer blockbuster because it's the summer. So I'm going to pull in Brett and Daniel to do what we think will be the definitive version of this. And Walker, we had something for you, but we'll do one for Lori. We appreciate her as well. So per your suggestion, Lori, this is going to be in the style of Cats the musical, not the movie of the musical, even though it is a movie, because we best forget that ever happened. But this will be the movie that should have been done in the style of Cats the musical, inspired by our previous scenes.
Hey, Ian.
Yes.
I hate you. You look perfect over there.
Why, thank you.
Oh, I love your tail and how it flows. I think about it every night. Your tail is so beautiful to my heart. When you hold it between your legs, I feel sexy inside. Do you see my beautiful ears that I just got pierced? I did it for you, and now your tail's erect.
I'm just wicked excited. I'm sorry. Purr, zing, it won't go down. Zing, zing, zing.
It is wonderful. Do you happen to be Mr. Miss?
Just sure. Listen, I hear there's a party going on. 8 o'clock near the X-wing. Why don't you meet me there?
Are you going to bring your ex, or should I bring a wing or something? I will catch a bird, and then you can make that your ex.
Ooh. I would love nothing more than that. If you could get a bird for me to gnaw on, that'd be amazing too.
You know, I wish I had paid more attention to the musical because I know one song and the rest of it I really tuned out.
Yeah, no, me too. No, I know.
Okay. So I say when we go there, we treat it like an alleyway. And with that alleyway, it's full of hot, wet cat hair, almost swampy-like. And then we'll reach in and pull something exotic out of there, if you'll know what I mean.
Oh God, my tail won't go. It won't go down.
Okay. Actually, better than the actual Cats the movie. Still. So there you go. Thank you. All right. So now we enter the part of our show where we can take volunteers. But before we do that, let me mention that in addition to just coming and watching the shows, which we are putting on for free out of the goodness of our hearts and because we love to spend time with you, you can, if you wish, also donate. And I will show you how. You can use one of these two links behind me. You can go to Venmo, Bring Your Own Improv, or PayPal, the link you see there. Or if you don't want to write a bunch of stuff down now, you can ignore all that for the moment and just go to our website, bringyourownimprov.com, and find the donate button and just use that. Nice and simple whenever you want. If you're so inclined, we would appreciate it. Helps us keep these shows going on, but entirely up to us. So we move to our next game. And let me say thank you very much to Kristen, Nicolina, and Jim, all of whom actually have donated. We appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. Now we move to our next game, which is Say It Again. Now, this is our first game with volunteers. As a reminder for those of you, Zoom changed up a little bit. If you volunteer, when I ask for volunteers, you can, in the chat, you can say, hey, pick me, I want in, however you want to say, me. We'll get you, or you can raise your hand using the hand raise feature, any of those things. Let us know you want to be in. When we go to unmute you, it won't happen automatically. You'll have to accept the unmute. So they go ahead and watch for that if you are volunteering, and click on that to actually be unmuted. So for our game Say It Again, the way this works is that we'll be doing a scene, and at various times during that scene, I may not like the line that was said. I don't think it's really what the scene wanted, and I will say it again. At that point, whoever said the last line has to discard that and say something completely different. Not just like a little different, because I won't like that either, and I'll keep saying say it again until I hear something completely different that I like as a scene. So if you said, hey, I'd like a peanut butter sandwich, and I say it again, saying I want a ham sandwich probably isn't going to do it. You want to say something radically different, like, hey, is that a flying saucer? Or something radically different. Again, if I don't like it, I'll keep saying say it again until I hear something that really is what the scene needs, what I like, and we'll go forward from that. So I've got Jared in the scene, I've got Amy in the scene, and I can take one of you. So whenever you like to be our first volunteer. Okay, I see Jim. Jim, come on board. We can go ahead and unmute Jim. All right, Jim, can we hear you? Give it a shot.
Yes, sir. Hi, everybody.
Okay. Hey, Jim, welcome. Jim's one of our regulars. Welcome aboard. So we've got Jared, Amy, and Jim. And to begin this scene, we will take from the board and we'll go with something inspired by Scotland. Whatever that inspires for you.
You're right. The 8th hour of bagpipes is really the best hour.
Ah, I could listen to that all night long.
It's my favorite requiem.
I'm so glad I came to visit Scotland. It's such a beautiful place.
And we're glad to have you here.
Say it again.
You know, I wish you hadn't come here at this time. We're redecorating.
Say it again.
Quite honestly, I'm very ambivalent about you showing up here in Scotland.
Say it again.
Scotland? This is Brooklyn, New York City. Why would you think it was Scotland?
Say it again.
You know, sometimes after a long day of work, when I just need some time to relax, I think to myself, Seamus, why is it that you've got an Irish name and you live here in Scotland?
Oh, I think it's a beautiful thing that we can just accept the Isles for what they are.
Of course. It's truly the melting pot of the Highlands.
Say it again.
I didn't know Scottish and Irish people married and got along. The
Say
more
it
you
again.
know. Which one is Mick and which one is Mac?
So Mac is the big burger. It's got the 3 pieces of bread. It's got the 2 pieces of meat. Well, that one's Mac.
Mac.
It's really big here.
It's big, all right.
So now I'd like to play you the third selection in my opus.
Oh,
Say it again.
And now I'd like to play for you the Imperial March.
Say it again.
And now I'd like to play for you Pop Goes the Weasel.
Say it again.
And now I'd like to play Not a Goddamn Thing for you because these bagpipes are getting heavy.
Say it again.
And now I'd like to shift gears to the piccolo because it's lighter and smaller and fits in a pocket.
play Freebird.
I still want to hear the Imperial March on the piccolo.
I feel like if Darth Vader was a kitten, that's the song that would play when he would be walking around.
And scene. The Imperial Kitten March. There we go. All right. So we move on to our next game. And that was kind of a quirky scene. In our next game, we have Party Quirks. And this is a guessing game where Tim is going to be hosting a party. And he's going to have some really wacky guests. And he's going to actually have to guess what's wacky about these guests. So Tim, why don't you go backstage to the green room to our secret soundproof booth to get that party ready. And we will get a volunteer. The way this works is that you'll come on as the guest. We'll let you know what that quirk is, and you can then give hints as to what the quirk is to try to get Tim to guess what they are without saying what it is that your characteristic is. So I see we've already got Sean volunteering, wants to come in and be a guest at this party. So Sean, let's get you on board. And then John and Brett will be our other two party guests. And let's get a few quirky guests for him. If you could start by putting in the chat just an animal, your favorite animal that's not a pet. It's like a pet, an animal that you wouldn't see in your home or in a city. And you can go ahead and keep putting those in. And then while we're working on those, what is an emotion that you don't feel every day, an emotion that you only feel occasionally? You think, oh, this is not the usual thing. Emotion that you sometimes feel, sometimes not. Okay, and when we get a few of those in, let's take advantage of the fact that we're on a video chat. And what I'd like you to do is find some object in your room that you almost never use, an object that's in that room that you pretty much never pick up, never look at, and bring that and put it up in front of the camera so we can take a good look at it. All right. Okay. I see some oddball things there. Okay, great. And then we could go back to the chat and put in the name of a fictional character. Character you like, could be from screen or from a book, some fictional character that you're fond of. Okay, so while we're putting those in, we'll go back and our first guest will be a grieving antelope, an antelope that's just suffered a loss and is now grieving. So why don't we have either John or Brett, which of you wants to take on the grieving antelope?
I'll take it.
Okay, Brett, you were a grieving antelope. Okay, I saw a little Big Poppy figurine as one of the objects there. So our next quirky character is an obsessive collector of baseball figures and bobbleheads and all those little sports figurines. So Sean, you want that one, or you want to get the third one?
I'll take that one. That's fine.
Okay, so that's it. You're obsessed with and collect these sports figurines, baseball figures. And that leaves for our third. Go back here. Oh, that third guest is going to be Willy Wonka.
Cool.
So John, that'll be you. You will be Willy Wonka. So again, let's quickly recap what our characters. Brett, you are
A grieving antelope.
okay. Sean
I'm obsessed with sports figurines.
and John.
I'm Willy Wonka.
Okay, so those are the three guests. Carrie, why don't you go and bring our host back? And while you're doing that, Tim's going to need some help. These are not easy. So if he's getting close to getting an answer, if you just hold up a thumb, like a big thumbs up right on screen, just right to the camera, nice and big, let him know he's on the right track. And then if he actually gets one, you'll go ahead and clap and let him know, hey, you've got it, you can move on. That's what you're looking for. So once we get Tim back in here, hey, Tim, let's get this party started by unmuting.
It's about time. I'm so excited to see everybody. It's been a while. All right. Ooh, I wonder who's coming first.
Ding dong.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? How's everything?
Everything is horrible. Huh? Is that danger? Everything is horrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One minute he was there, and another minute he's not. Huh? Danger?
That's all right. That's why I invited you over. I thought it'd be a good time. You could talk about stuff. You could look at all the things that are distracting you. There's a lot of stuff here that is good for, a distraction from all the world's
You have
problems.
tissues,
Yeah. Here you go. Let me grab some tissues.
please.
All right. All right, here you go. Grab some tissues.
Thank
There's a
you.
tissue for your issue. So tell me what's going on. I haven't seen you in a while.
I don't know. It's just everywhere is danger. Just wild animals. Just wild, vicious animals.
Yeah, raptors. It's crazy now with the genetic engineering. There's like raptors outside.
There's raptors now? I was worried about lions, but now there's raptors.
There were two, but they're in France now. So it's not a big deal, but the lions, I'm glad you're concerned about that. I didn't invite any today.
Okay. Because raptors in Africa would really.
Yeah. Well, they can deal with them in France. I think they're like, they're a native species, so that's not a problem. But you're concerned about the lions?
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the lions.
Okay.
They got.
Okay.
They got my boy. They got my boy.
Wait, this wasn't the one that we had to rescue last time, right? Because that was
the one we had to rescue last time. We couldn't rescue him this time.
Knock, knock,
Okay.
knock.
Oh, hey, hold on. I'll be there in a minute, okay? I gotta go get a bunch of other people who I think would be able to help us with this operation.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hi there.
Hey,
I'm
how you
here.
doing?
I brought some goodies from my place, and I
Okay.
thought we'd begin this party with a spin.
Perfect. Well, I actually appreciate that. I don't have enough food for everybody here, especially Cryolophagus over there.
He was there.
But
Well,
anyways, what'd you bring?
I brought some gobstoppers, and I
Okay.
brought some chocolate, and I brought some gummy bears that grow on trees.
Oh my God! You know what I still have? Remember when we used to go in Lions Park and blow off the fireworks? I still have some of those unstoppable gobstoppers. Remember
Yes.
those? And
In fact, those inspired me so much. I had to go and create something like that on my own.
really? Oh
Yeah.
God! There's this guy who's talking about beans like he had one of those blueberry things, makes you puff up. He got all bloated. it's pretty.
There may be some guilt for that on my part, but
Hey, you know what?
I'm not letting the public know about that.
We told them it was a musical fruit, so it's no big deal.
Yes.
But I was. Did you bring your buddies with you?
I did. You know, they're small, so I was able to bring a lot of them with me in my car.
They're great for confined space rescue, and we might need that to get Cryolophagus's son out. So
Yeah,
Willy
so let me
Wonka,
know, and we
I
can do
really-
it with a tune as well.
Yeah, Willie, I really appreciate you being here. It's great to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I really apologize for that last sequel. I didn't do you justice.
Seems like you have another guest.
Willie, I'll see you. I got a couple other people coming. You can bring any of the Oompa Loompas out, and there's rescue gear in the back. See if they need anything.
Alrighty.
Hey, what's going on? Oh my God! I haven't seen you in like days.
I know it's been a while. It seems like you got a lot of different kind of figures over here, huh?
Oh my God! It's the United Colors of Benetton. There's everybody around here. I love it. It's such a great atmosphere. I miss everyone. It's good to see them.
Yeah, I've just been into so many different things lately. It's getting to be more of a collection.
Really? So you've stopped the what do you call that thing? The minimization of everything. Not as Spartan. You're not as Spartan as you used to be.
Well, no, but that minimization thing comes in handy later on.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does. I mean, it's good. You can't always have big things. You got to keep them small sometimes.
You know what I like though? I like a whole bunch of different athletes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's I invited a couple of them. I'm not sure if they're gonna come. There's a couple of NBA players. I invited LeBron James and Dwight Howard.
The smaller size, because I have them all over my house.
Okay.
And they're just knocking their heads around, all crazy. I'm just looking for some more of those,
Yeah. But the bobblehead doll collection you had in the back. Is there any specific celebrity you'd like me to invite?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady would be nice.
Tom Brady. Yeah. Oh my God. And with his avocado toast stuff, it is just out there. It is awesome. I could grab more of that. Hey, how's it going?
Is
Have you
there
figured out
any
the plan?
more food? I'm just trying to graze some more.
Put up the line!
Where?
I was lying.
Oh yeah, you're a jokester. That's why you came. You're awesome. I love the hair. It's such a lion's mane.
My boy used to tell jokes.
Yeah, it's tough.
We used to gallop and graze.
Hey, how's that support network going with like the other prey animals?
It's not looking good.
No?
No. One day it's our species, next day it's zebras, and next day is whatever those things are called. I don't know.
Are you seeing a lot of wildebeest there?
Yeah, there's wildebeest. I don't really mess with
Are you
those.
sad because you can't elope?
Not without my boy here. Those damn lions.
Yeah. Well, if you get the lions that actually they're from France, where the raptors are going, the lions there are. I've heard they are vegetarian, so they'll eat cantaloupe. They will eat pineapples. They will
That
eat
would be good.
apples.
Do they gallop? The lions gallop?
Yeah, sometimes. But
I don't think he likes to see. I don't think he likes to see at all.
He doesn't like the sea.
Yeah, and those cantaloupes.
No.
Oh, and those the sea cantaloupes. Yeah, they're not as tasty as the land cantaloupes. I've had a couple. Actually, I asked Willy Wonka to make some candy out of it, and it did not sell at all. I thought it was a great idea, but the you know, there are other ways to be vegetarian. You could eat chrysanthemum. That's actually pretty good. But I'm trying to, you know, I'm just trying to diversify my vegetarian options for the guests, you know. Speaking of the elk, do you have any friends there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't know any elk.
Okay. Well,
I
was
just
gonna
me and my
invite a couple.
boy.
Your boy. Did you speak to your boy recently? Like I've got the Oompa Loompas in the
No,
oven,
he's
they're
God. He's dead. He's literally dead
from the lions.
from the lions.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that is just heart-wrenching. Would you like a gobstopper?
Yeah.
Okay, here. That should, you know, soothe your sorrow for a moment.
Okay.
Dear. Oh, this is dear.
Danger?
Dear. Sorry.
I thought there was danger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. There's no danger here. All the lions are vegetarian. They're imported from France. The deer are quite so how's the elk? So there's no. I'm gonna go check with the other guy. Willy Wonka, could you help him out for a minute?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Thank you. All right. So Sean, we got our bobbleheads here, right? We got our collection. What do you think?
I absolutely love it. You know, I can't get enough of that type of stuff.
You seem like a real sports
like a drug
aficionado.
to me, you know, it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? I like them a lot, though.
You're a collector.
They're my whole life.
Yeah, you're obsessed with the sports. You know,
those tiny things, though. Those things.
Obsessed with the bobblehead dolls. Yeah, I oh my God, funny story. I used to work at across the Fenway Park at the souvenir store. We sold bobblehead dolls. They were $15 each. They were like made out of chalk. It was crazy. You don't have that kind, right?
No, but not just those. I like the ones that don't move too. Just like, you know.
Oh yeah, you're obsessed with dolls.
Of those, you know.
So just the regular dolls or action figures, or because like I'm trying to figure if I can speak to Willie about.
I have like Tom Brady and David Ortiz and.
Hey, listen, are there any lions? Are there any lions over here? I need to cover all my bases.
There are no lions here.
Okay,
your bases are all covered.
All right, go back to your conversation.
Okay, all right. So, like, I like that you're obsessed with this stuff, but I'm just trying to figure out where we can, you know, I want your opinion on how I can decorate for the next party. So we don't need bobblehead dolls. There's enough of those.
Yeah, that's part of it, you know. But there's a whole collection of those things. Some that move, some that don't move, but they're pretty small, and they tend to be, they tend to look pretty accurate.
Wow. Now, so like, is that? See, I've got a picture of David Ortiz right there. He's just ready to bat.
It figures.
There's also the
figures that you have David Ortiz. It absolutely figures.
The David Ortiz figures, the sports figures, figurines. Wow.
Yes. Now, what was the last one that you said that I was?
Figurines.
Yeah, but the whole thing. What's the thing that? It's almost like an addiction.
Oh my God, you have an obsession with sports figurines, right?
Oh my God, how'd you figure it out?
Well, that David Ortiz one there, next to the bobblehead, that's pretty life-size and accurate. It's like he's actually smaller than you think. It's crazy. I met him at a party once, but he left early because of this guy.
I think he's going through the phases here. He was
It
in
looks like-
denial. He was trying to figure these things out. I feel
He's-
bad for the guy.
You look like you're in grief. You look like you're in very grief.
Yeah.
You're grieving. A grieving. You know, I always thought that he was from France, but that's not the case. That the Raptors,
I want to say
Raptors?
Africa, maybe Africa.
Well, yeah, well, we don't have to worry about the Raptors, but like now it seems like more of what do you call that, grasslands? Right?
Can you help me? I think I got something in my horn.
Hold on, you look hungry. I got some grass outside. Is that gonna fill you up instead of the gobstopper?
Yeah, the grass is. I would love to eat some grass.
Okay.
Also, please help me. There's something in my horn.
In your oh my God, in your antlers.
Yeah.
That's ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that might be. That's a specific figurine there. Now, hold on, let me grab that. Hold on. Perfect. Wow, didn't think that could fit on there. Well, you're good for now. So your friends at the support network, the kidnapped, rescued, eaten kids, is the wildebeest, the elk. They're not there anymore. The deer, the
Don't call me dear.
oh,
We have-
all right, sorry.
Don't you call me a deer. There's a word for me. It's not deer.
There's sorry, I get them mixed up. There's so many different species of prey animals that get
Jeez.
hunted by lions and stuff.
If I may interject with a question,
Sure.
as someone who's curious about diet and nutrition and like what people
Yeah.
are eating these days, I read a thing in the Circle of Life magazine that
Yes.
lions. I'm talking to the guests that the lions eat your species,
Uh-huh.
but then the lions become the grass and you eat them. Like, how do you feel about do you put a lot of stock into that whole thing?
Well, yeah, it's a circle of life. The lions better die. I'm not gonna kill them. I'm just gonna eat what they become.
So
The grass.
Sounds like you've been in a lot of grieving, Mr. Wildebeest.
Yeah. Don't. What did you call me? I am neither a deer nor a wildebeest.
Tim, can I invite my aunt E? Do you want her last name?
I don't know, but she had nice lobes.
Oh yeah. Sorry, grieving antelope. I get my species mixed up. So what? Well, I actually brought my friends here because we're here to support you, Mr. Grieving Antelope.
Okay.
I understand that is probably not the only thing that my friend Ian spoke about.
Okay.
Oh no! That's you've identified your guests.
Yes.
You just want to recap them?
Yeah. It's a grieving antelope. It's Willy Wonka and a person who's obsessed with sports figurines.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
That's a cool party,
And
man. That's
all
awesome.
right. And now we move on from what could have been not so great party with the grieving antelope there to the world's worst. That wasn't the worst party, but we're now going to hear about the world's worst. And so in this game, it's a line game. We're going to have all of our cast, maybe up to 3 of you, who will have to come up with the world's worst examples of things that we're going to give them based on your suggestions. So the way we play this is everybody kind of stands and listens for the thing. And when they have an idea of what the world's worst example of that thing is, they say me, hold up their hand real high so I can see it. When I see it and hear them, I'll call on them and they'll come forward and say, hey, it's the world's worst whatever, and they'll give their thing of what that world's worst thing is. So I can have up to 3 of you join us. And I see Corey's one. This is, if you think of worse things, then you can do that. I see Jim as well. Also, if you have no ideas at all, you can just stand back and look and say, hey, I volunteered, I was in the game. So that works too. So I've got 2. I can take one more if we want, and if not, we'll move right on. And okay, so I see Corey, I see Jim, we'll go with that. and let's get a few ideas for some worst things that we want to see. So I've actually got some from before when I asked you about the summertime activities. I'm going to use those. But let's get a few more things. If you could start putting in the chat some occupations, jobs. They don't have to be bad jobs. The players will take care of that. Any jobs at all. And you can just start feeding those in. And if I can have also relationships that are not like family or friend relationships, other relationships that people might have with one another. So out in the world, relationships that are not familial, that two people might have with one another. So let's get a few of those in. And so Corey, can we hear you? Can I go ahead and make sure you're unmuted?
Right here, man.
Good, we've got you. And Jim, have we got you?
Hello.
Great. Okay, so we've got everybody. So let's kick it off with one of those popular activities, world's worst summer camp.
Me.
Daniel.
I can't hear you. You're 60 feet away.
Me.
Jared.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over to the movie tent and watch Cats.
Me. Go ahead, Corey.
You cannot go in the water today. It's full of seaweed.
Me.
Jim.
Come on, kids. You can paint a $20 bill that looks more real than that.
Hey.
Tim.
Why does the pool water look yellow?
Daniel.
Is it still summer camp if it's in Antarctica?
Me.
John.
They let my son Jason drown.
Me.
Amy.
Feel it hot, hot, hot. Woo! Feel it hot, hot, hot. Woo!
Me.
Daniel.
And then, here in this campfire story, the evil man came out with gluten. Is this not the celiacs camp?
All right. Let's hear about the world's worst work spouse.
Me.
Jared.
Hi, I'm Jared.
Oh.
Me.
Tim.
Your lunch. Sorry, ate it all.
Yeah, let's
Me.
go with Brett,
Sorry.
go ahead.
So, saw you talking to that new girl in accounting. How's that going?
Daniel.
So can you just man the register and come back here and cook the food? And if you don't mind waiting the tables and you make sure you stock the fridge and just make sure you lock the place up when you're done. I'm going home for a nap.
Me.
Amy.
Okay, so I just handed in my notice. So I'm gonna need to collect alimony from you.
Okay, world's worst martial artist.
Me.
Corey.
I'm the instructor. Please kick somebody else in the balls.
Me.
Jim.
I can't even tell what you're painting. You suck, Marshall.
Me.
Daniel.
Well, when you have a fuzzy pig that's covered.
Me.
Amy.
That's all you want me to paint. It's just Marshall.
Me.
John.
You know, I built this sculpture with all these discounted shoes I got at Marshall's, but it's just not giving me the aesthetic I'm looking for.
Okay, let's have the world's worst water sports.
Me.
Tim, you're first.
Oh my God, why is the pool water still yellow?
Me.
Jim.
Well, thank you very much, UrbanDictionary.com.
Me.
Corey.
I have a new water game to play. It's called Drowning.
Me.
Me.
John.
Ugh, I knew today was not a good day to wear a white t-shirt.
Me.
Me.
Jim.
Whose idea was underwater painting?
Me.
Me.
Daniel.
Golden.
Me.
Amy.
Okay, place your bets. Yeah, place your bets. Which drip will fall first? Come on, place your bets.
Let's have the world's worst magnet tester.
Me.
Jim.
Everything is always so negative.
Me.
Daniel.
Well, I've got the lead suit on. I think we're ready.
Me.
Amy.
I am Iron Man. Oh,
Me.
Tim.
Hey, wouldn't it be cool if my nickname was Magneto?
Me.
Daniel.
Okay, I get it. The South Pole is polarized. When we please get out of this summer camp?
Me.
Corey. World's worst farmer.
Me.
John.
All my crops on Farmville died. What happened?
Me.
Tim.
Just adding some compost.
me.
Amy.
Old MacDonald had a farm and I supervised the delivery.
Me.
Daniel.
New McDonald had a farm, but no one give him a loan.
And scene. All right. Some pretty bad ones there. But now we're going to have a mix, not just bad, but also good. And maybe a little ugly, because our next game is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in this game, we're going to have three people giving advice. One person will give good advice on a topic, one person will give bad advice on a topic, and the last will give ugly, really ugly advice on that topic. So it'd be two of us giving advice, and one of you will volunteer. And then after the advice is given, we'll have some of our players come up and do a little very short scene inspired by some of that advice. So somebody feel like they can give advice on a variety of topics, go ahead and volunteer in the chat, and we'll get you on to do that. Okay, sure, Jim, we'll bring you back for this one, and you can be one of our advice givers along with Daniel and Jared. So Tim, is there anything that we're desperately missing from the board that we need? Go ahead and check the board and let us know.
We really haven't touched pizza.
We certainly have not. We have not touched pizza, and pizza should always be touched and eaten. So, Daniel, let's have some good advice for eating pizza.
Good advice for pizza. Putting pineapple on it.
Bad advice for pizza.
Eating
Sure.
it without using your hands at all.
Okay, no hands, makes mess. And Jim, if we could have some ugly advice about pizza.
Sometimes you get pizza delivered with a whole bunch of crap on it. Just reach over and lift off all the meat they spilled on it. Everybody will thank you.
Hey, you want some of the dust I collected to add on for a topping?
Yeah,
How much
you
extra
know,
is it?
I'd like some extra dust. And oh, you know what? If you could add the cobwebs just like on half the pizza, that would be really appreciated.
Oh, it's gonna be one tasty one. That's awesome.
All right, so I heard dust and cobwebs, so let's talk about maybe cleaning out the attic. So Jared, if we could have some good advice for cleaning the attic.
Hey, bring an extension cord for your vacuum cleaner.
Makes sense, makes sense. Jim, some bad advice for cleaning the attic.
Tell your wife to do it.
Ooh, could get you into trouble. And Daniel, some really ugly advice for cleaning the attic.
Make sure that you plug the plug into an outside outlet and do not have domestic abuse issues.
Honey, why is the super sucker outside?
Listen, I know you want to use it for the attic. It's not happening. That is my super sucker.
But I gotta
Alright.
clean something around here.
All right. So domestic strife obviously is something we can always have advice about. So Jim, what is some good advice for avoiding domestic strife?
If you're upset about something, just say, look, something's kind of bothering me. Can we take a few minutes to talk about it, please?
Communication, always good. Daniel, some bad advice about domestic strife.
Begin a text conversation, but when things get really heated, ghost her for 3 days.
Not so good, not so good. Jared, how about some ugly advice?
Let her sister tell her just how good of a husband you are.
I'm telling you, the therapist told us that if we do some pottery 3 days, that'll
But
fix
no-
things.
Oh, my love, my darling.
Why did you bring your brother in with this therapist conversation? Like,
And scene. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we move on to a game we like called Alphabet. And the way Alphabet works is that our players, and possibly some of you, will do scenes, and they'll do scenes a line at a time. Each successive line of the scene has to begin with the next letter of the alphabet. So if I start the scene by saying, antelopes are my favorite prey animal, then whoever's speaking next might have to say, but you have to not confuse them with wildebeests. And the next person might say, cantaloupes are what antelopes would eat if they liked seas, and so forth and so on. So I can take up to 3 people who think they know the alphabet and can do scenes accordingly. And I see Corey's already jumped onto that. And do we have anyone else? Lori wants to join us. Sure, come on aboard, Lori. And okay, we'll go with that. We're just talking about advice. We don't have debate club tonight, which is one of our favorite games, but I would still like to know if you put in the chat, what is a topic that you would like to see debated, a topic that you'd like to hear experts talk about. We won't have that happen, but we'd still like to know what the debate topic would be. So something you'd like to learn more about, a topic, academic or scientific subject, or some expertise. And all right. The order for this game, we will start with Jared and Amy. And then Corey, you'll be coming in after Amy. And then we'll have Tim and John. And Lori, you'll be coming in after John. And then Brett and Daniel is how we'll bring people into this. So starting with Jared and Amy. And the initial inspiration for your scene is going to be red velvet versus real chocolate. Constant debate. Red velvet versus real chocolate. Both of those begin with R, so let's start the scene with R.
Red velvet is straight garbage.
What did you just see? Sometimes I don't want a real fudgy chocolate, and red velvet just hits the spot.
Tough! You're always trying to take away what I love. If it's the good pillow, if it's my relationship with my parents, and now it's my good fudgy chocolate.
Usually you don't complain so much about it. I think you should really just chill, just relax, just calm down.
Velvet of any kind, whatever color, just fires me up.
Well, why didn't you say it was a velvet thing? I thought you liked that copy of the Velveteen Rabbit book that I gave you.
Xavier McDonald, the co-author of that book, also gets me really angry.
Oh, you just
No,
get
we're not
angry
going
at
to take a proper name. We're not going to take a proper name.
I deserve that.
We might take it from a volunteer, but not from a cast member. You're out, Jared. Okay, so Corey, you're going to come on. Velveteen Rabbit's a nice kids book, so let's have a nice conversation about children's books, starting with C for child.
Would you please be quiet? This is a library, sir.
Don't tell me to be quiet. I love the library, which makes a lot of noise.
Every book here is for children. It's the most beautiful thing.
For children, I love seeing children reading books in the library.
Works of literature are approachable to everyone. We have Ulysses over here for children.
How did you know that?
I think that you'll like the remembrance of times past for children. It only covers 8 years.
Just because I would know that, I just don't know why you would do that in that library.
Kids love French existentialism. Sartre is just beautiful for that.
Sartre.
Love it. I really love it.
Maybe you could write the theatrical adaptation of the works.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
I think you could handle it.
That was an I before O. I before O, except after C does not work in this game, Amy. You're out. All right, Corey, nice job. And you'll stay in with Tim now. But this is a very uplifting conversation. So let's just continue that scene with P.
Perhaps we should turn the page.
Quite so, we should.
Rave reviews were given for the last book that this author wrote.
Stephen King is a really good author.
There is a lot of proof in that statement. Let's find out more about what we're reading, though, now.
Usually, I think Stephen King is one of the greatest writers ever.
Vague stories in some aspects. There were a lot of details missing.
Why don't you find a good Stephen King book and why don't you read it, for Christ's sake?
Xylophones are more of my hobby.
You know, those xylophones don't really go with books.
Zara is a great brand if you're wearing something and playing the xylophone, though.
I don't think so. Not taking brand names. Tim, you're gone. So Lori, you'll come on and join Corey. It'll be the Corey and Lori show for a moment. Corey, Lori, your suggestion is gory, and we'll start with the letter G.
Great. Look what happened when you sliced open that person.
Have you already know that I would not be careful if I ever do that again?
I just can't believe that you were so sloppy when slicing him open.
Jokes are not funny when it comes to this stuff.
Kindly go over there, get all the cleaning supplies. We have to clean this up before my mother gets home.
Look, just because I would like to do that doesn't mean your mother's going to approve of that.
My mother is going to freak out if she walks in this house and sees blood everywhere.
Yeah, Nana would.
Now, you wouldn't want to do that kind of stuff.
Okay, are you threatening me?
Perhaps no.
Really, I think that you possibly...
Oh, no, we missed the cue there, Lori. We missed the cue there.
How could you?
As we were going down that rabbit hole, so that'll bring on John, and I don't think we'll stay in this abattoir. So I think we will move along to a knife store where we're not getting knives to carve up people, where we're getting knives for some other purpose. A knife store with Corey and John, and we'll begin with Kay for knife.
Knives are a very dangerous weapon in a store. You do not want to pick those.
Look, though, these knives are great. I'm looking to carve some pumpkins, and I think these knives will do the trick very nicely.
Maybe carving pumpkins with a knife will be a safer thing than using a knife.
No way. I love just using knives for everything. I use them to reconstruct my countertops.
Ouch.
Preferably, though, I would like to have smaller knives because I really want to be able to get in there to do the detail work.
quiet. You do not want the neighbors to hear you say that.
Really? I feel like the neighbors, I'm good friends with them. Like, I feel like they would support my hobbies.
Some say you should really do that.
True. And I support them. You know, they like knitting and I like knives. So, like, we can coexist.
Usually, when it comes to coexisting, you should learn that when it comes to knives, you need to be careful with those.
Very correct. Luckily, I went to school for that. So I feel like I'm well trained in the art of the knife.
Well done. Well done.
Nope. Couldn't get there. Crossed out by the X. All right, John, you're out. And now, Corey, you can take on Brett. So, Brett, you are one of these next door neighbors of John's who's heard a lot of strange conversation coming out of this knife store. So you're coming over to kind of figure out what's going on. And we'll move past that X to the Y.
You want to tell me what's going on here with these knives?
Zooks. I don't know what's going on with all those knives over here.
All right, I believe you for now, but just know that I got my eye on you.
Oh, believe me or not, I don't want you to have my eye on me when I'm doing this crap.
Could you just tone it down a bit? I'm not trying to be hostile or anything. I just want to know what's going on.
Done.
I'm not going to take that. A little bit weak. Brett, you're out. Okay, so Corey, you're hanging in there, and now you get Daniel coming on. Corey and Daniel. All right, so apparently this knife store is where the action is. So now, Daniel, you're a customer coming in to this knife store. And we can continue where we left off, which was real E.
Everybody wants some cool stuff from the store, you know.
But now I just want something for my grandson.
Guaranteed, you should really do that because it's really nice to do that for your grandson.
How many of these knives will carve up a body?
I don't know. That's kind of dangerous.
Just pick up the sharpest one and we can try each one on you, one at a time.
Keep it down. You don't want anybody to hear you say that.
Let me tell you something. No one's going to hear anything. I locked the door.
More than that, you should make sure you keep the doors locked on all occasions so you won't use those knives on a specific occasion.
No. I only locked it for you.
Okay, then.
Please understand, you really offended my grandson, so he's going to want to carve up the body.
Quite so. I have no idea, but I apologize for that.
Right now, your apologies are over. I just want you to find the sharpest knife so we can utilize it.
Sharp knives can be a really good deal.
Take me to the best deal and then we'll just sharpen it because I'm pretty sure it's going to be dull.
Up to the 4th aisle is where the knives are.
Very well, but I'm an old lady. I'm sure you can start walking, and by the time I get there, you'll have made the perfect choice for me.
Well, I'll guide you there.
X is 10 times the times I want to stab you.
You know, I would not want that to happen to me.
0 chance of you getting away if I cut your Achilles first.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no. Daniel,
That's what we're talking about.
All right. Nice run, Corey, but we have seen. All right. Folks, I will remind you that we love your attention, and we also, should you choose, love your donations. So I'll post those as I get farther and farther away, post those URLs for you again, those links for you again. either of these or on the website. And hey, we have some further donations from Lori and from Julie. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it greatly. And for the rest of you, feel free or not. Shows are free, and it's up to you. So thanks so much. Before we begin our last game of the night. Aww. And our last game is last line, first line. And the last line, first line is just going to be our cast. We will have 3 scenes going on, and between 3 of our present players at any given point in time, the last thing that somebody says can become the first thing that somebody else says. A scene's going on, and if the players hear something that say, oh, that line that was just said would work in my scene, they can clap, come in, and the last line that was said in the last scene becomes the first line they say as they continue their scene. So let's unmute Walker for a moment. Walker, was there anything from the board that you did not see that you want to see now, or something you saw but you want to see more of?
I think Star Wars Dark Force Rising.
Good.
Star Wars Dark Force Rising.
Star Wars Dark Force Rising. Okay, so for our first set, which is Daniel and Jared, Dark Force Rising is your suggestion. For Amy and Tim, Dark Force makes me think of Dark Horse. So your inspiration is going to be Dark Horse in a long shot. And for John and Brett, hey, horses remind me of antelopes, and we haven't seen enough antelopes in this show. We have seen from Brett, so it's going to be the savannah, just the savannah, be more generalized. No wildebeest, no lions, no antelopes, but savannah, whatever that inspires for you. So let's take it away with that first scene. Daniel and Jared.
Honey, have I got your force rising?
Ooh, you know how to get that dark.
Oh.
The lightsaber is fully lit.
Ooh, I love it when you're lit.
Ooh, when you talk to me like that, I just want to bring you down and give you the old Darth Maul.
How deep is that Darth Maul? Is it hard as a long, straight cat's tail?
It's like a great big Death Star, and just so you know, it'll be a little faster than 2.5 parsecs.
Well, that's amazing because parsecs is a distance, and I don't think I've seen anyone longer than 2 parsecs.
Ooh, there's a lot of things that I like, and parsecs is my favorite.
And I'm sure you're gonna fall.
There's a lot of things that I like, and parsecs is my favorite, but I don't think we can put this in our comic book for the kids.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking that perhaps we could just make it a nice innocuous little comic book. We could have the works of Anais Nin illustrated, perhaps, for kids.
I love the idea. Anais Nin, was that the first edition or the second edition of Anais Nin?
Oh, it's multiple editions.
Multiple editions. Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. That's awesome. I haven't heard enough about Anais Nin, but there's some art, some fancy art going on. We could definitely add that in.
Oh, and that's why I hired you as the artist. You're just so perfect.
Thanks. Yeah, you see that? Look at that. Look at that hand drawing there. You see that? That is the Anais, and there's the Nin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that we have a future with this.
It's also scratch and sniff. Give it a smell.
Here's a scratch and sniff. Do you want to give it a smell?
Oh man, it is my birthday. Thank you so much. Oh, you're the best brother ever. Thank you.
Thanks. It smelled like nature and animals and grass, so I thought you might
yeah.
like it. I thought it might be up your alley.
Yeah, it does remind. It's a nice gift, considering I can't go back to my internship in the savannah. I appreciate this. Thank you.
Well, you know you do a little weird stuff with the animals, but you live in.
Well, you know, you do a little weird stuff with the animals, and I feel personally offended.
Oh, honey, all I was saying is, I want to be the freezing cold Luke Skywalker, and you can be the Tauntaun.
Oh, I see how it is. You're gonna insert yourself deep inside my chest. It feels like you found the wrong hole.
Clap. Oh, now see, it feels like you found the wrong hole for your illustration. You're gonna, okay, no, I think you should stick your paintbrushes.
Clap. Stick your paintbrushes where you weren't expecting them.
Ooh, I'm gonna paint you like Han Solo in the Frozen Carbonite.
Oh.
Clap. Ooh, you weren't there. You weren't there. The animals, they just.
I know. And I know that you had an allergic reaction and that's why they had to send you home, but that's what you get for going up and snipping them right up in their personal space. Animals need space too.
A lot of them have not met humans, and it's my job to insert myself into.
Clap.
Take it. Go ahead, Jared.
It's my job to insert myself.
And scene. All right.
Yep.
Had to get there, and that tells us the evening is over. So we thank you so much for coming. Hey, this is a virtual show. We can virtually travel. We do it every Friday night here, but if you'd like to see it somewhere else, you could book us. We can do family events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate events, any place you'd like to see us. It's a virtual show, so it's real easy to move around. Hey, if you're interested in doing that, go to the website, bringyourownimprov.com. There's a button there about bookings. Click on it, read about it, and we can do a show for you somewhere else other than Friday night. But it's Friday night. We're here. Tell your friends, tell your social media. We're here every Friday night, 7 and 9. Hey, Zoom can take a lot of participants, so the more the merrier. Tell your friends, and let's get some big crowds. We thank those of you who are here and those of you watching on YouTube. Hi. Thanks for joining and watching us live. Thank our volunteers especially. Thank you guys so much for playing with us. That's what we're all about. Bring your own improv. Thanks to our fam Walker tonight. Welcome to the club. So glad you could be our fam tonight. And I've got our great cast tonight. I've got Jared.
That's the most dirty Star Wars innuendo I've ever been involved with tonight.
I've got Amy.
You don't play here anymore.
Got Tim.
Have you ever seen Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
Got John.
I want to go to the knife store for my birthday.
Got Brett.
Danger.
And I've got Daniel.
You know what Imperial cats mean? Rebel dogs.
That's us. And scene. Wave to the camera, everybody. Say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.